Hey, welcome back to the Abundant O.D, a show where we have real conversations with independent practice owners and industry experts about building profitable, sustainable practices without burning out or sacrificing your personal life. I'm on a mission to help practice owners create more predictable cash flow, keep more of what they earn through smart tax strategy, and actually enjoy the freedom they went into business for. And today, I'm excited to have Dr. Diane Hilal-Campo with us. Dr. Diane is a Columbia-trained, board-certified ophthalmologist in private practice in Oakland, New Jersey, where she's been diagnosing and treating eye diseases for 25 years. And after spending decades treating female patients who are struggling with dry eye and some other painful conditions caused by makeup and beauty treatments, she's developed her own brand of eye-friendly formulas, and they call it 2020 Beauty. So, Diane, thanks so much for taking some time out to talk with me here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on, Eric.
Yeah, you bet. So we were having a great chat before the show and a little bit last week. But talk to me first. This isn't a normal career path for a board certified ophthalmologist, right? To go out and venture out into the beauty industry, which seems to be like this huge behemoth of an industry they have to break into. So talk to us a little bit. I know I mentioned it a little bit in your bio, but unpack it for us a little bit about how you got to this point of developing your own line of beauty products.
Okay, so I had been in practice for many years, and I had seen a dramatic increase in my patients with complications from their eye makeup. Number one, I saw that a lot of the ingredients that were in the commercially made products, that it was causing inflammation and really patients and exacerbating and causing dry eye in my women patients. Again, in college, I was a chemistry major, and I actually thought about going into chemistry. So I liked the idea of looking into the different ingredients and seeing what they do to the ocular surface. And a lot of the commercially produced, actually, really all of them, the commercially produced cosmetics, their goal is to make money. So they use the least expensive industrial grade chemicals in their products. And these chemicals are some of them are on our eye structures or very close to the eye structures. Mm-hmm. And when you're that close to the eye structures, and a lot of times these chemicals are actually flaking into the eyes with application and removal, and every blink really with, let's say, powdered shadows. All of these chemicals get released into the tear film and onto the ocular surface and affect your eyes. And I was seeing a dramatic increase in dry eye in women. I saw a lot of women were not doing proper hygiene. They were keeping their eye makeup much longer than it should have been and were getting eye infections. People were getting blepharitis and styes because of poor hygiene. And I wanted to, and then there were new beauty techniques that were coming about through social media that they were espousing that were dangerous. Tight lining, where you put eyeliner on the wet line, which blocks the meibomian glands and actually can damage the meibomian glands. Or practically every beauty KOL who I spoke to, they were shocked when they found out that tight lining was really not good for your eyes to do. And also lash perms, where you're using basically lye to curl your eyelashes. And some of these women are doing it at home to themselves, putting these very harsh chemicals on their lashes, and lash perms, lash dyeing that people are doing at home, lash extensions. The lash extensions have glue in them that has formaldehyde donors that are very damaging to the lash roots. And I wanted to create a line that had safer ingredients, better product design, and I wanted to be able to use the platform to teach and educate the general public, the beauty editors who are the KOLs of the beauty industry, and to teach other doctors, because this was a different take than we had seen before. Again, you can treat as much as you want the dry eye with T-cell modulators and MIBO and IPL. But if patients are going home and they're using these products that are inflammatory and damaging, they're going to come back. They're going to be not healed. They're going to be frustrated. They're never going to get better. So it's a big component of part of treating your dry eye women and patients. And it's become a big part now in the optometry schools. This is the last optometry convention, the AOA in Minneapolis, that I went to. This was the first time that I actually saw that the students were being taught, and actually general optometrists were being taught, that you need to discuss with women what beauty products they're using on their eyes, because again, you can't have a dry eye spa trying to make them feel better and then having them go home and ruin all your work by using inflammatory products around their eye. They'll never heal.
Yeah, it just becomes like this vicious cycle where it's kind of like going to the gym. Is similarities to like going to the gym and doing all those things, and then going home and downing a pizza and a six-pack of soda. It's like you're undoing everything that you just went to the clinic, in this case, to do. Why do you suppose, I know we talk a bit about corporate profitability and things of that, but why has nobody brought this up before? Has it just been one of those unnoticed things, or somebody who didn't really know what steps to take to try and solve the issue?
We were talking about it in our conference. Eye doctors were talking about it, but no one was doing anything about it. And that's when I wanted to try and do something. Again, it was a perfect storm. I was at a stage in my life where my kids were out of the house. I had no expenses left. My house was paid off. Their college education was paid off. And it was a time in my life when, number one, I could afford to self-fund a project. And I had time to work on the project. I wasn't a young resident with young kids anymore. And I wanted to do it. So it was a passion project. It was something I felt as though I was at a stage in my life where I wanted to leave a mark. And this was something that I wanted to do. This was something I felt a passion for, that I felt like I could do, and that I could help change the narrative in the beauty industry. Basically, my tagline is healthy eyes are beautiful eyes. When I saw all of these unhealthful techniques that these young girls were espousing to each other on TikTok and Instagram, and just things that later on in life were really going to damage their eyes and leave them with chronic dry eyes, I wanted to change the narrative. I saw, for example, lash serums. This was another thing. Most of the lash serums on the market would contain hidden PGF2 alpha analogs. Now, we eye doctors, and again, I've been around a long time. I was at the beginning of the use of this class of drugs for glaucoma, Zalatan. And we used it as an eye drop. We knew that it grew lashes. We saw that as a side effect, but we knew the other side effects. The other side effects were red eyes, dry eye, damage to the meibomian glands, sunken eyes from periorbital fat atrophy, discoloration of the skin. Now, yes, these patients on these drops, one drop at night, yes, it would lower their eye pressure and they would have long, gorgeous lashes. But they would also have these other side effects as well. For when you risk blindness, these other side effects are acceptable. But for beauty, having an eye that's sunken with darkness around it, possible discoloration of the iris, red eyes, tearing dry eyes with long lashes is not beautiful long term.
Absolutely
it's not. The trade-off is not worth it. And these basically, it made me very upset that women would come in. We wouldn't know why their dry eye was not getting better. And they would, a lot of times, wouldn't even disclose that they were putting on these over-the-counter, what they considered vitamins on their eyelashes. I would have patients bring them in. And then when you Google the ingredients, there's invariably a laboratory-made PGF2 alpha analog. Again, they have different names. It's easy to spot when it has a prost in the name, like isopropyl cloprostinate, but a lot of them do not even have a prost in it, and you would not know that it is a PGF2 alpha analog unless you Googled it. And again, so I wanted to come up with healthier alternatives. One, I wanted to have a brand that women and other doctors could trust had safe ingredients and wouldn't have any of these ingredients that would be problematic for the ocular surface.
This is great. So I can really feel how much you like care about this impact that you're looking to make here with this line of products. This sounds, as we were talking about it, it sounds like a no-brainer. Like these things are that you've used for years are harmful to your eyes, and now you're coming into a clinic and being treated for dry eye or something else, and don't go back home and do the same thing you've been doing. What has been the tougher parts about getting the line out there and bringing these ideas to more of a reality to help more people? Like, you can run into
Okay,
roadblocks with this?
so I also, in addition to creating these products, and again, I created a whole line. I wanted to focus on hygiene. So one of my main stay products is a hypochlorous acid spray, which I wanted to popularize as a daily hygiene spray for women to use. And actually, it's approved also for children, babies, men, but to spray their eyes and eyelashes and spray their beauty applicators. It kills, the product is safe for the eyes. It kills 99.9% of bacteria within a minute. It's called hypochlorous acid. It's a naturally made material substance that's naturally made by your white blood cells. And again, so I wanted that hygiene because poor hygiene will cause blepharitis, it'll cause styes. This gets sprayed twice a day in air dry and keeps everything clean and keeps your lashes clean of bacteria, clean of some viruses and fungi, treats styes, blepharitis, and also quells rosacea and acne. At any rate, I created a whole line and I wanted to have a new distribution model. I wanted the products to be, instead of going to Sephora, I wanted this eye makeup line to be distributed out of eye doctors' offices. And that is a completely new distribution model that I pioneered when I launched in the summer of 2021. So there's been a learning curve. It's taken time, number one, to get the word out to eye doctors. Plus, I'm self-funded, so I don't have a big sales force that can go to different offices. So that's taken time to get the word out. And then adoption, basically the eye doctors agreeing that this is a good thing to have in their office. And basically, though, now things are catching on. You know, it's taken a little bit, but now it's catching on. I see a tide change and it's being again taught in the schools. Again, my products are the line. It has a hypochlorous acid daily hygiene spray. It has a lash growth serum that does not have any PGF2 alpha analogs. I have tinted brow gels. I've got a great mascara, and I have eyeshadow cream sticks. And we have a beautiful display that patients can check. I leave mine at the checkout desk, my display, and women automatically will gravitate to it with testers. The women love makeup. So again, you were talking in the beginning about how you want abundance for the optometrists. This is profitable for eye doctors because the markup is significant for the eye doctor. They would buy wholesale from us, and it's good for your patients. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's taken a while for that new marketing, for that strategy to take hold. Dermatologists had been doing it for years. Only recently do I see now really the whole thing being embraced by eye doctors.
Okay.
And we have about 500 eye doctors' offices in Canada and the US, and we recently launched in the UK. And again, it's intuitive. If they're going to leave with a prescription from your office for Restasis or Sequa, they should also leave with products that are safe to use around their eyes. They shouldn't go home to use their usual eye makeup, which has a lot of inflammatory elements. And it was a challenge for me. It was a fun challenge. The whole thing was a fun challenge, producing the products, building a better mousetrap. Like each of my products, the product design is better than the products that are out there. So for example, there have been other hypochlorous acids out there, but the other sprays, for example, the most popular one, you have to take the top off and put the spray top on. The only two things that break up hypochlorous acid are air and light. So when you take off the top and you put the spray top on, automatically you're introducing air. The product disintegrates in a month. Mine is packaged with the top on. So it's shelf stable like this for 2 years.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, once it
Yeah, yeah.
starts being used, I tell them that they should tell their patients to dispose of it in 3 months, which is generally how we see our patients. Every 3 months, our dry eye patients or
Hmm.
itis patients. So they'll
Hmm.
come back to your office and buy it from you again.
Fantastic. So for those patients who are dealing with this, with those conditions, right, this sounds like an absolute no-brainer. So unpack this a little bit more for the eye doctor, the independent optometrist who's listening to this now, in terms of what they do to educate themselves about this and consider it for their own office. Can you get into that?
Yes, I'm always available to talk about each of the products individually. For
Mm.
example, I formulated every single one of these products. And so each of the products has ingredients in it that are only helpful for the ocular surface. My eyeshadow sticks, okay, powders are very bad because powders with application and with every blink, you get fallout into the tear film. My cream shadow sticks, you apply them, there's no fallout, and they stay put. And I have hydrating elements in them, hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and I don't use any gliding agent. The gliding agent is important too. You don't want a gliding agent or surfactants that can break up the oil layer of the tear film. So I use a natural one. Whenever I have to use in my products a preservative, preservatives are very bad for the cornea, for the conjunctiva. I try not to use a preservative when I don't have to. For example, the hypochlorous acid is its own preservative, and I have a lash growth serum, which is it's an anhydrous combination of oils. Now, practically all the other lash serums are aqueous based and require preservatives. Some of them have 4 different preservatives, and preservatives, again, they're damaging to the base of the lashes, the roots, and they're also damaging to the epithelial cells of the cornea, conjunctiva, and the goblet cells. This is an anhydrous combination of oils. It's hydrating. Patients wake up, and I had used it for my dry eye patients for many years, and they would wake up with their eyes feeling great. But in addition to that, their lashes will grow and their brows will grow. The mainstay of it is castor. It's medical grade. I used my other thing that I try to do is I try to use ingredients that we've used in our products for many years. For example, medical grade castor oil is in our Restasis, it's in Sequa, it's in a lot of our dry eye products because it's extremely soothing. It downregulates inflammation by binding to EP3-1 receptors on the conjunctiva, which has the highest concentration on them. So it's in them. So it's extremely soothing for the ocular surface. So I knew that. Plus, there have been papers and studies that have come out. It's a very effective treatment for number 1, Demodex, number 2, blepharitis. So you're treating the blepharitis, you're treating the Demodex, you're hydrating, your ocular surface is being soothed and inflammation is being decreased. And it will grow the lashes and brows. It's a great
Hmm.
product, unlike
Yeah.
the other ones. So if you would like to learn more about it, you can go to our website, try2020.com, trytwenty.com, and you can reach out, email hello@try2020 to get more information on carrying wholesale, or Laura @try2020, trytwenty.com, to get more information or to set up even a Zoom call with me to learn
Okay.
more about the products, because I love to talk. Obviously, I love to talk about them. I could go
Yeah,
on and on since I
for sure.
created, I created each one, and there's a reason for each product. A lot of thought went into it. And a lot of work went into it because these products are very hard to formulate. Labs, when you speak to them, they're not used to this type of restriction. I have a
Mm.
blacklist of over 150 ingredients that I will
Okay.
not use in my products. But in addition to being, my products are vegan, cruelty-free, and they do not have any potential. I will not use anything that's a potential carcinogen or a potential hormone disruptor. And
Mm.
the one other benchmark, which is the most serious one, healthful for the ocular surface. And I know what's helpful for the ocular surface. I've seen it. I know what is good
Oh,
and what isn't. And I know what
awesome.
is important. So
Mhm.
that's why this system works really well. And your patients, we get emails all the time from people who are grateful. They say they haven't been able to wear eye makeup in years, and now they were able to wear it for their daughter's wedding. Yeah, mascara was the
That's
one
great.
that most people would complain about, that at the end of the
Mm,
day, their mascaras would be irritating. They couldn't tolerate them. And I
sure.
researched it and I found out that it was because most mascaras contain either beeswax, highly allergenic. Anybody with a pollen allergy, by the end of the day, their eyes are going to be irritated. And
Yeah.
almost all of them have beeswax or something called carnauba wax, which is also highly allergenic. When it's on the eyelashes, it affects
Mm,
the conjunctiva. So mine does not use that. Mine uses a synthetic wax. So the
okay.
synthetic beeswax. So it's non-irritating at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even brands that call themselves hypoallergenic, the
Mm,
phrase really means nothing. I
mm,
found out through this a lot of the terms in the beauty industry, like clean, it means nothing. Clean
hmm
beauty means nothing. Hypoallergenic, they're not hypoallergenic. They come into my office all the time with allergic reactions to their mascara. That's not hypoallergenic.
It's all
So
these labeling loopholes that these big
label,
corporations get into. That if I decrease this, I may still have a certain percentage of that ingredient in there, but if I can decrease it by 0.1%, then I can call it this. But the
well,
reality that you're seeing is it's still allergenic or it's still not good for you.
it's also poorly regulated. The cosmetic industry is extremely poorly regulated in this country. So my ingredients are made to EU standards, which are much stricter, plus my own standards. I don't use a lot of the ingredients that other people would find acceptable because I know I've seen it. They're irritating to the ocular surface. Anything that's going
Hmm
to cause inflammation or allergy is going to break the homeostasis of a dry eye cycle and either push someone into dry eye or break homeostasis that they're in. And then again, it's a big problem for us to treat it. It can be they keep coming back to your office. They're not getting better. They're not getting better. Why? Because they're going home and they're using this stuff on their eyes.
Yeah,
And women want to wear eye makeup. They do. We do.
for sure.
Me too. We all want to wear eye makeup. We all want to look our best. So I had a makeup artist come in to see me and she had horrible dry eye. She came in and she was devastated that she couldn't use eye makeup. But once I treated her and got her into a homeostasis, she uses my products and she's so happy.
That's great.
It's, yeah,
Stories like that and results like that have to be very rewarding given the amount of, like you said, thought and work and dedication that has to have gone into something like that. You can tell just from our conversation that you've put a lot of care and attention, like massive attention to detail on this whole line, right?
yes.
Um,
Yes, and I had help. I'll
I
tell
was
you, I had
just
help.
going to
I could
ask you
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a surgeon and I see patients and I operate. I didn't come at this from a beauty background. I
Yeah.
did not. So I tried to do it on my own. I'm in New Jersey. We have labs here that make cosmetics, but they
Mhm.
wouldn't even talk to me because I'm not a big company.
Sure.
I'm not a big company. They don't want to deal with someone who's just a small person. So I had a patient who had gone to three other eye doctors and been misdiagnosed. And she came to me and I diagnosed her correctly, treated her. And at the end of it, she was so happy. And she started to tell me, oh, that she was in new product development for Bobbi Brown. And I told her my idea. And she said, that's brilliant. There's nothing like that on the market. All of my friends in beauty have problems with their eyes from their eye makeup. And I'm going to give me your cell number and I'll put you in contact with people who can help you to make this happen. She put me in contact with a beauty incubator and it was a team of women who helped me to make the line. There was an MBA. There was someone who was a formulator, somebody who was a regulator, somebody who was a publicist, someone who was a ghostwriter, someone who was a marketing expert, somebody who did social media. And this team of women helped me to make my dream a reality and they had contacts and they had contacts with labs who could produce the products. And they helped me from the bottom up, even just coming up with the brand and the brand's name. We went back and forth with different names. But even
Sure.
every detail is thought about. For example, the colors. The colors are the blue is my original cornflower blue of my scrubs when I started 30 years ago. When I started 30 years ago, everybody had the same color scrubs. And the white is my white coat because I wanted it to look like a doctor's line. And my products are all white and blue. So it has that clean doctor's look.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be an obvious doctor's line.
Sure. Going back to the similarities in the business model that you alluded to before with the dermatologists and offering things there, like a lot of the things that I get through the dermatologist or have over the years have been like clean, like clinical looking products like that too. So I think that's very smart. That's fascinating. Okay. Back to on the business end of things. I know you probably got big plans for this whole line. Where do you see what is your ultimate goal that would just if you were to hit this goal for 2020 beauty, you would just look back at this and really think, man, this was like ultimately worth it. This is the legacy I wanted to leave. Like, what's your vision overall?
I would love for all eye doctors to be dispensing these products out of their offices, recommending to their patients that their patients have a focus on hygiene, using the hypochlorous acid spray on their lashes and on their lash extensions to keep their lashes free of bacteria so so patients are not coming into our office with styes and demodex infestation. I would love for young girls to start, instead of the powdered eyeshadows they're using, to use my products, starting the young, because basically the middle-aged women are the women who are coming into us, but it's because of what's gone on starting at a young age.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like it to start with young women, to educate young women. These are the products you should be using. I purposefully did not price this over the top expensively. So that because my two daughters went to graduate school, my one daughter's still in graduate school, all their friends are students, they can't afford these expensive lines. I made it at a price that all women could afford it. And I would love to see young women starting with this line and going all the way up through mature women.
No, that's amazing. No, that's great. And so in starting to like bring this together and wrap it up, so I want to be mindful of your time here, but this has been a great conversation and I've learned a ton. Again, both times I've talked to you, I learned so much and I just love it. Let's see, going back to the business angle of things, you started out as a surgeon or as an ophthalmologist and you've taken on this passion project. Like because I know there's been others out there who have looked to either completely move or pivot into a new line of work or add on something that is highly complementary like you have. But it's just, again, it all seems just like a natural no-brainer fit if you're treating dry eye or any of these other conditions that are caused by these harmful chemicals, that this is just a no-brainer to add to your line, to your office. But what, if any, kind of advice do you have for people who maybe have similar idea, an ancillary or related either business or product line, and getting that going? Again, it's taken a ton of effort, but
okay, so do it. Okay, so my advice to other eye doctors, we are in a privileged position. Okay, we see a lot of patients every day. We know everything about their health history because they will answer any question you ask. So you can find out anything you need to know by asking them.
Yeah. From the patient seat, I can attest to that.
We're all smart and intelligent and educated. You can make the connections to make a positive difference. So I made this connection that this was problematic, and I decided that I wanted to do something about it, and I started thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do. And once you start thinking about it, it all snowballs.
Sure.
You think about it, you talk to other people about it, people want to help you, and you figure it out. So there's no reason for you not to go forward. Go forward. Awesome. If you have an idea, do it. Don't, you're in a privileged position. You are able to make the connections and you're able to come out with something that will help humanity. do it.
That's great. Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have scripted it better myself. Diane, thank you again so much for taking time to talk with me today, sharing all your incredible insights. It's been a real pleasure. And again, it's been highly informational. Like I said before, I learned a ton on both of our conversations. I know our listeners are going to take a lot away from this conversation. So thank you again. Once again, tell people where they can reach you or what the best way is to learn more about the beauty line.
Okay, so the best, if you want to email either hello@try2020.com or Laura at try2020.com.
Okay.
Or go to the website try2020.com. And it's one word, trytwenty.com. And there is a place where you can contact us.
Awesome.
And there's also a lot of information on the website about distributing wholesale or learning more about the products. Yeah. So
that's great. So dive in. If you're listening, dive into it. Learn as much as you need to become comfortable with it. Take them up on their offer to have a conversation. You've got the founder and developer of the line herself, which in the beauty industry, I don't even think it would be that, I don't even know how helpful it would be for other products, but for a product like this, it's got to be invaluable to have access to you as the person who actually have put all the thought behind it and developed it from the ground up with all of the considerations and attention to detail that you put into it. So it's a fascinating opportunity. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to our listeners about it. And thank you all for tuning in. And as always, here's to prosperity and the abundant life you deserve. We'll see you next time.
thank you. Thank you for having me here, Eric.
You bet.